Okay, so I may have been wrong about my take on the Samsung Galaxy S23 ULTRA here as it relates to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let's go ahead and dive into why. First things first, I have been looking at this all wrong, and so have you. You also have been looking at this all wrong. The Samsung Galaxy S23 ULTRA is not just another Samsung flagship phone, and the reason I'm saying that I was wrong is not because the phone is not good enough, but instead because it may just be too good to the extent which it's causing somewhat of a paradigm shift in the mobile tech world. Now, we will dive into the how it's doing this, and also you may want to know the why it's doing this. But first, just be aware that this thing here may be responsible for the highest number of people switching from an iPhone to a Galaxy device, and with good reasons. Now, the launch of the Apple iPhone 15 series is right around the corner, and the anticipation is that Apple is planning to upgrade things on the iPhone 15 that will be highly appealing to the people that they lost, when they switch over to the Galaxy S23 ULTRA. But is it going to be enough though? I'm literally asking you, is it going to be enough? Let me know in the comment section. Go ahead and type up right now. But anyway, so the Galaxy S23 ULTRA is just so good that it didn't just have people switch over, get bored, and then switch back over to their iPhone. They all stayed with their S23 ULTRA, and here's why, right? It's boasting the most powerful flagship chipset that Qualcomm makes for mobile devices on the Android platform. And here's the kicker. In case you didn't realize, that chipset is tailor-made for Galaxy, meaning it's made specifically for this particular phone and better position it to compete against the likes of, the iPhone Pros or the Pro Maxes, because those, of course, are coming with Apple Silicon. And let me tell you what this all means. It means that I, along with hundreds of thousands of people, have been experiencing a more intuitive user experience using the Galaxy S23 ULTRA. Everything is just seamless here. The way I have been using my phone has made it seem as though, this particular unit was built specifically for me and no one else. One UI, or the skin that sits on top of Android here, plays so well with everything else, making it feel like everything is literally, at the tip of my finger, right? So you really have to experience this to know what I'm talking about, or to fully understand or fully grasp what I'm trying to say here. Let's agree on one thing in this video, right? So let's not dive heavy into the specs of the Galaxy S23 ULTRA because, frankly, you can easily pull that off of a specs sheet. But instead, let's focus on real life application, right? So when you are at a level like this, when we are talking a device like this one, it's no longer about, whether it has the specs or not. It has all of those specs, and it's not about whether those specs are good. That's all redundant. Instead, we need to focus on whether you will feel like, this very expensive device here is worth your money. And on this channel, we tend to go beyond the most obvious, right? We typically focus on the value that is provided by the device that you are trying to grab. And at $1,200, this doggone thing, better offer the most value you've ever seen on a phone. And guess what? It does just that. And the interesting thing here is that you don't necessarily have to go out of your way, in order to tap into the full potential of the phone. And that is simply because of a number of reasons, right? So the phone actually tapped into its own potential without you trying anything. There are a bunch of reasons, and I can name why you don't necessarily need to actively tap into the potential. Firstly, the Galaxy S23 ULTRA offers, top level battery life. Every single user, most important aspect of a phone is the battery. And this phone goes beyond expectations here. And this all thanks to the fine work of the battery itself, in combination with the new advanced cooling chamber, the display and the chipset, and a few more things. Secondly, the user experience, right? Is it a cool user experience? Yes. Is it a fun user experience? Yes. Is the design of this thing, does this make it so that it's comfortable to use, so that you are happy to use your phone? Yes, 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 and yes. Because despite being a large phone, the form factor here is actually built to feel comfortable in your hands, no matter the size. At least for most people, it is a super powerful phone that boosts your productivity, to the highest level, way better than, any iPhone can. And yes, I said it, the S23 ULTRA has superior multitasking capability when compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. By far, it will make you as productive as possible for a number of reasons, including something like Samsung DeX. Why? Samsung DeX is not even available on the other phones, right? This is the only phone that's gonna give you access to such a powerful platform. Thirdly, the camera. In today's day and age, everyone wants top level camera. Guess what? Not only does it have some of the best camera in the market in terms of image quality, but the ease of use is just ridiculously comfortable and easy, especially if you don't want to complicate things. Now, it is also flexible, you know, to extend some more power to you if you want to go ahead and make it a little bit more complicated and, you know, do more manual mode. You want to do everything yourself. You can simply turn, you know, that pro mode in the camera settings, and you can even shoot a movie with this thing. So many people use this phone to shoot movies and, you know, make content on here, and there are so many other reasons why this thing offers beyond the, you know, the expected value. You can actually go to a football game, basketball game, you know, graduation, recital, and it won't matter where you're sitting, right? You can sit as far as you can, and you can simply use that 100 times zoom, and you'll feel like you are right there in the picture, sitting right next to your kid or to your loved ones. It has battery life that is not matched by flagship phones out there. Performance that is not only beyond this world in terms of power, but a device that is, you know, intuitive enough to make it so that, you know, it anticipates your every move, right? It gets you where you're trying to go before you even think about going there. Now, with all of this said, does that mean this is exactly the phone that you should go buy out there, that I should go ahead and just recommend? No matter what phone you own right now, just drop it and go buy this phone? No, of course not. And I say that not only because I'm always honest with you, but because, you know, it is true. It's apparent that people have different needs, and, you know, you don't necessarily need this phone. However, this is the phone that you buy because the real-life application of almost all functions and features is actually legitimate, including features that you find on the Samsung S Pen. And in case you weren't aware, this has a stylus, and I think I showed you already. You get this stylus included, meaning that you get to do things that the average phone cannot, including the iPhone 14 Pro Max that this is going against. Personally, I don't use the S Pen from this phone very much, simply because I'm a tablets guy, right? So I'm always carrying a tablet, and the S Pen on the tablet is actually a lot more comfortable. Whether I'm carrying an iPad or or Samsung Galaxy tablet, sure, I do use this every now and then, not as much as some people out there. Now, with all of this said, it's almost scary, you know, how well executed, you know, the conception and the delivery of this phone was done, simply because the hype and anticipation. You know, Samsung has come to be known as that brand that would throw the entire kitchen sink at their products. All of this in hopes that people will recognize, you know, innovation, and it's been like that for a while, right? So much so that, you know, all of us get upset when Samsung doesn't do anything that is drastic, that is completely different and super innovative. They have to do that in order for us to validate them. Whereas the iPhones, generally, the iPhone 15, you know, I have to give it to them. They're coming with a lot of innovative things, but things that we've seen already. But yet, it's generating so much joy, so much anticipation, excitement, right? Simply because we've come to know that Apple will release what they release, right? And you don't have a choice. If you're not happy, that's a you problem. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. They keep innovation pretty scarce because, you know, they play it safe, and for that, there is no crazy hype so that they disappoint people. There isn't any super wild expectations like it is the case with Samsung devices. And all of this just to say that despite the hype, the anticipation, all of that madness, Samsung delivered with the Samsung Galaxy S23 ULTRA here. Samsung will have to continue this because it seems like there's a smartphone revolution out there. You know, brands are pushing the envelope further than before, anywhere from a well-known and mainstream brand like Samsung all the way to the more localized brand like, you know, Tecno and their Tecno V Phantom, for example. And again, still, Samsung separates itself from the rest in terms of innovation and trying new things. All of this being said, here's my take. The Samsung Galaxy, you know, S series is always going to be unfairly treated. That's why Samsung needs to overkill in order to be noticed, because people will always downplay all of the top level things that, you know, they drop on their phones or on their devices. It will all come down to you, right? Do you want a phone simply because it's mainstream, or is it because it's a phone that is really top notch with functions that are actual legit, something where you embrace a total package offered by something like this S23 ULTRA? It's up to you to make that decision. The choice is yours. But anyways, I am a tech enthusiast, so I'm always gonna be buying, whether it be the iPhone 14, 15, whatever it is, I'm always gonna buy this simply because I'm a tech. But when it comes down to buying a phone that is good for you, you know, I urge you to really think about what your needs are and make sure that you make the right choice for that phone. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here. Let me know what any questions you may have. I'm certainly hoping that this was informative. Let's get that back and forth going in the comment section. I'm gonna catch you in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, of course, share if you know anyone who'll be interested. And by the way, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you could get more awesome videos like this one. I'm gonna catch you in the comment section like I always do. I'm also gonna catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.